morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Let me play my theme song really quickly. All right. My face is so oily this morning. I put some, the morning routine where you put the grease and stuff, but it's giving first grade. You know how your mama put all the oil on your face before you go to school? That's what it feels like. But I want to say a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your grace and your mercy and your love. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for allowing us to be on this side of earth. We really appreciate you. We know that you are our power source. We ask that you continue to be the guide, be the light, and the peace in our lives. Amen. All right. I am Madam President. I do this every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am in ATL, but I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I'm so sorry. I thought I had a sneeze coming on. I would like to say that I'm so glad to be with you this morning. Don't forget to let me know where you are from, where you from on this morning. I got a couple stories here. The first story is, I know you've heard about what transpired with Target. Oh, Target said, I'm done with DEI. Hey, I'm done. And so, we had a whole movement. Oh, no. Ain't nobody shopping at Target. I ain't going to Target. Don't go to Target. And so Target has been hit with all types of down, and below numbers. Target is, it's been hit. It's been hit in the stocks. It's been hit in the stores. It is plummeting. However, this is what they said that they would like to do. Whenever you find crisis in place, me personally, I never think call Al Sharpton, but white folks obviously believe that Al Sharpton is the liaison for Black people, which I find to be so funny. Al Sharpton is like, it's an outdated approach to solutions for the Black community, in my opinion. Maybe it worked in the 60s, but maybe it worked in the 70s, but I don't think of all the Black businesses that Target has had a relationship with, that any of those businesses want Al Sharpton to be the communicator or the middleman for some kind of middle ground. Now, that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, but I want to read to you some of the article. Target CEO Cornell to meet with Sharpton to discuss DEI rollback as civil rights leader considers boycott. The key points of the article suggest that Target CEO Brian Cornell would meet with civil rights leader Reverend Al Sharpton. Put Al Sharpton in the chat if you can see the article. Put Al Sharpton in the chat if you can see the article. To discuss the company's decision to roll back DEI programs. The discussion comes as the big box retailer faces calls for a boycott and a slump in foot traffic that began soon after it announced plans to walk away from some DEI initiatives. Sharpton has not called for a boycott of Target, but said he'll consider it if the company doesn't reaffirm its commitment to Black businesses, employees, and consumers. Now, in my opinion, it feels as though that, Pastor Jamal Bryant had stated that he's, that no one should shop at Target for 40 days, 40 nights, whatever. So it seemed like the conversation should probably have started with him, but we could be wrong. But let me finish some of the readings of the article so you can see what's being stated. Target CEO will meet with Reverend Al Sharpton this week in New York as the retailers faces calls for boycott and slowdown in foot traffic that began after walk back key diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, the civil rights leader told CNBC on Wednesday. The meeting, which Target asked for, comes from some civil rights groups urge consumers not to shop at Target in response to the retailer's DEI decision to cut back on DEI. While Sharpton has not yet called for a boycott of Target, he has supported efforts from others to stop shopping at the retailer's stores. You can't just have an election come and all of a sudden change your old positions, said Sharpton. If an election determines your commitment to fairness, then fine. You have a right to withdraw from us, but then we have a right to withdraw from you. The civil rights leader said that he would consider calling for a Target boycott if the company doesn't confirm its commitment to the Black community and pledge to work with and invest in Black-owned businesses. I said, if Cornell wants to have a candid meeting, we'll meet, Sharpton said of the phone call Target made to his office. I want to first hear what he has to say. A Target spokesperson confirmed to CNBC that the company reached out to Sharpton for a meeting and that Cornell will talk to him in New York this week. The company declined any further comment. What do you all think that this is going to do? Like, what do you believe that having the meeting with Al Sharpton, what initiative will it do? Like, what will it expand to? What will happen for the sake of Black businesses? Like, what's going to transform? The conversation with Al Sharpton, what will be transformed in this space? Let's just deal with the reality. So let me just put you up on game. This was what had been happening for a very long time in the Black community. You'll have companies, like say for instance, you have an AT&T, and they want to figure out how to have impact in the Black community. Well, guess what? They're not going to go knock on every door of a Black person. They use upper echelon Black people or people that are boots on the ground, people that are known within the Black community, and they have the conversation. So Al Sharpton has been on the front line of tons of conversations as it relates to Black people. Now, what part that feels a little concerning is that Al Sharpton is an older man, and the conversation has now shifted. There are so many different strategies now that Black folks have, want access to for earned income and development that I'm not sure if Al Sharpton is even up to date on what Black folks will want on the business side with Target. If you get my gist. It's easy to be like, oh, Al Sharpton, we're going to have him come to the meeting. Yeah, that worked really well in the 80s, possibly. But one of the issues was, so you'll have a person like Al Sharpton, and I'm not here to insinuate that Al Sharpton get backdoor, get money or anything like that. But what will happen is the conversation start as, well, we're here to take care of some kind of Black businesses and corporations within the community. And then they bring Al Sharpton in, and all of a sudden he could potentially, allegedly, okay, I don't want no drama, he could potentially or allegedly receive the $150,000 check that's supposed to be dispersed to a Black school in Harlem, and it's at his discretion. This is how some of the issues and the dramas began back in the day with folks. They was like, they having a meeting, want to fix something, and then all of a sudden they gave the check to that Black leader that came and had that conversation. Target missed the mark. They missed the mark. They thought, see, the thing is, the administration bullied a lot of these Fortune 500 companies. And this is one of the reasons that social media, this is one of the impacts that social media has on businesses that they never considered. The rate that social media delivers information, the news itself has never been aware or prepared for the kind of response that social media would impact on world news. Now think about this. 20 years ago, if Target was rolling back DEI, we wouldn't have a clue. It'll be some print in the wall in the newspaper. It'll be like, oh, okay. We wouldn't have a clue. But because we are in the times that we are in, when those kinds of things, I'm sorry for shaking the computer. That's not good. But now we are in a different time. So these statements being made, it's passing off like lightning, and companies can't fully recover quick enough. So with that being said, I personally don't think Al Sharpton, will be the perfect liaison to negotiate. I believe that Target should be having conversations with the people that they have inside of Target and the other communities that Target, if Target is one block from certain communities, hey, then those are the communities as well as the people that are on the shelves that they should be talking to about how to fix a problem that they created. I told you guys I got allergies here in Georgia. The pollen is high. I take Zyrtec and things of that nature, but sometimes in the morning it gets me from my ears to my eyes. So thank you for bearing with me. I also wanted to share with you a couple stories that I found. Now, ladies, I don't want you to give me a hard time behind this because this is some dumb shit that I'm finding online. Now, this particular story is a good story and it's a beautiful story. And I wanted to share it because I want young women to figure out how to date in a healthy manner. If you can see this, put coffee date in the chat. Put coffee date in the chat. Put coffee date in the chat. If you can see this, put coffee date in the chat. So this young lady went viral recently where she says, just a girl who said yes to a coffee date every Saturday until one day it was coffee at our own brunch wedding. A different take on coffee lovers. So this is a beautiful sentiment. So many women have literally rejected the idea of coffee because they believe that it's not an investment enough. Now, I've got some friends, they make some good money. Whew, you should hear the stories some of them have to share with me. But some of the brothers, I feel so bad for because when I tell you, I had one friend, she told me, she said, I'm not going on no coffee date with no man because guess what? This is my friend now. I love her dearly and this is her personality. She says, I'm not going on no coffee date with no man when I got to put a face full of makeup on and he can just, come in his t-shirt. And I said, well, I thought coffee, now this is me telling her, I was under the impression that coffee reduces you having to wear all the makeup, all the heels. I thought that it was created in an environment where you can come lighthearted, soft, and not really have to dress up. This is a space where two people can get to know one another without having to make big investments. Like no one has to feed you, wine and dine you for them to know if they're interested in you. I honestly, wholeheartedly believe that these kinds of gestures are healthy. I think these are healthier gestures. Now, some people, they don't. So anyways, I want to show you some more of the coffee date. Her and a then boyfriend on their coffee date, more coffee. She said they were meeting up every week for coffee until the day that they decided that they were going to get married. Isn't that a beautiful story? So in my response, when I saw this online, I said, so many women are saying they don't want to meet up for coffee. They're saying it's a cheap way to interact. But I find this approach soft, kind, and easy. Black folks could use all kinds of easy. Welcome a space where men don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to be in your company, and you don't have to wear 7-inch heels to grab attention. Create a space where two people can hear each other, sit and talk, and discover if you're in search of the same kind of love. What's so hard about that? What is so hard about that? This is the prerequisite. Why do you think, this is another thing that it's when you have this unrealistic expectations in the dating realm, oftentimes what it's going to do is it's going to create an unrealistic relationship for you. If you are meeting up with somebody and it's always a high note, then it's going to be impossible for you to have a grounded situation. Because every time you're meeting up, it's, oh, I got to get dressed up. It's Friday night and you got to be all cute. And that's not a reality. That's not going to be anyone's day to day. You all have to meet up in slow moments. You all have to meet up in mid tempo. If you want to meet up in the nightlife part, that's fine too. But you got to have some moments where you're grounded. Do y'all have a mama and a daddy? Do you have any of that so that you can understand the word balance? And I know some of you all don't have two parents, respectfully, probably in your life because you've never had any kind of balance. Put balance in the chat, please. Put balance in the chat. Don't forget, this is brought to you by FlyNubianQueens.com. This is not just me. FlyNubianMoney.com. Text Queens to 87948. This is where you go when you want to get your money up and you want to get your mind up. All right, I want to share this story right here. Now, this story I didn't particularly care for, and I wanted your thoughts on this, but this is another story, social media person, media personality, family thing that I follow online. And I was taken back by this. This woman, she's very popular. She probably got 300,000 plus followers, but they do a lifestyle blog. Her family, it's her husband, her son, and they travel all over the world, right? They travel all over the world, and they have exposed a lot of their life online. So they spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of time, just online based on what they've shared because they used to travel in an RV. Now, recently, she kind of went viral for her current post. Listen to this. She says, after I booked a one-way ticket to Nigeria for the last part of my solo trip, my husband called and asked me what day my flight was back to the USA. And then she proceeds to say, it's moving a little slow, but it's going. Come on, y'all. And my exact words to him were, I do not have a flight back to the US because I'm not coming back. He was surprised about my decision and asked me, why are you not coming back? And I told him that it was time for me to prioritize myself. And based on my declining mental health, this was the right move for me at this time. I asked him to send our 12-year-old to join me in Nigeria as it would be better for him than staying in the US. But he was a bit hesitant. So I told him to enjoy their time together and they can come visit me in Nigeria whenever they like. That's when he realized that I was actually serious about my decision and sent him to join me in Nigeria. Picked up my baby from the airport and my heart was happy. So yes, I did move to Nigeria and my baby boy is here with me and we've been living here for a few months now. So I'm going to read the status that she wrote as well, just so you all can get another glimpse, a picture of, what she stated. This wasn't a move made out of impulse, it was made out of intention. My mental health was suffering. I was overwhelmed, burnt out, and so much more. I needed to be in a space where I could reset and prioritize myself. There was no master plan, no perfect timing, just a woman who was tired of pouring from an empty cup and finally decided to choose herself. After spending a few months in West Africa, I just knew that I needed to be here. Not sure where exactly, but I felt the pull and I knew that it was the right thing for me at this time. Sometimes the boldest decision we make don't need approval, backup, or a plan. Everyone understands, and that's perfectly okay. Always remember this: life isn't linear, and if it makes sense to you, it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. P.S. Remember that I was offline for several months and I'm finally sharing my story. And there's a lot of vulnerability here. So please be patient with me as I slowly find myself in the space to share more. Another P.S. Gentle reminder to check up on your strong friends. They need it. Can I tell you that let me just say something to you. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. You are a married woman. You don't get the chance to pretend as if you are headed on a solo trip for rejuvenation and then determine that you're not coming back home. And this is insane. And if this was a man pulling this same stunt, the conversation would be completely different. Women have a way, I'm not going to say all, some women have a way. And as women, we can be supportive to nonsense. Like the slut walk and tramp walks. Like, you don't need to be a slut, you don't need to be a tramp, and you don't need to be fucking walking around protesting to be one. Like, that's dumb. But you'll find so many women who are saying things like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm so glad that you chose you. Don't give a damn. You should not be choosing you. If other people are connected to your choice, other people are affected by your choice. So you don't get a chance to just choose you. Everybody is feeling the hard time. Everybody is trying to figure out how to feel better. But you can't just make a decision and then pretend like, oh, I'm going on this quest, because I'm going on this solo trip and I'm just going to find myself. And then I'm telling my husband that I'm not coming back and choose you, choose you. You all don't like when I say this, but the white boy who goes into a church and start to shoot up the church, he was choosing him. White boy who goes into the grocery store and shoot up the grocery store, he was choosing him. America is rooted in a bunch of selfish, irate, ignorant behavior that's hidden behind doing what works best for you. That's dumb. Yes, I know that America is intense. It is intense. But here's the thing. This is what bothers me. This is, let me tell you the biggest thing that my parents told me. You're a grown up. You're going to have to deal with that. You a grown up. You're going to have to deal with that. I'll never forget. I was younger here in Georgia. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I got to find my way. I got to find my way. And I wanted to do some traveling. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to China. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to China. I'm going to take on one of those programs where, you can teach in China. But the spirit told me, I don't care how far you go. You got to take you with you. That changed my whole trajectory. What I'm taking my sad ass to China for? I gotta get right here. I got to get right no matter where I go. I got to get right on the inside because I got to go with me no matter where I go. If I'm sad here in America, I'm going to be sad in Nigeria until I can get balanced on what it is. Now, like I told you before, America is intense and it is stressful. But the thing is, I don't encourage and I don't agree with a married woman or a married man moving as if they are single. You want to move across the world? That's what you do when you're single. But you can't make the decision and then tell your husband, I'm moving. And then, you put it online to encourage women. This is the encouragement of women. Now, when men do this, it's always a problem. When a man decides, fuck this family, y'all getting on my nerves. I got a new one. I got another family around the corner. They make me feel better. We want to tear his ass down and he ain't no good. But when a woman does it, yeah, girl, go ahead, girl. You got to do what's best for you. You don't have to do what's best for you. You've made some hard commitments that other people are relying on. You need to do what's best for us. See, y'all don't like that kind of talk. But see, that's what that white man, he tell you that all the time. Hey, Sarah, I know what's going on. You got a lot of shit going on in your family, Shanika, but we going to need those reports on Saturday. And that's the day off, and you got to take your son to the game. And guess what? I don't give a damn the reports I needed. But see, when it's them and their demands, you get it. It ain't no problem. When they need you, it ain't how I figure out how to show up. What is that? I do not condone a married woman leaving her family out of feeling stressed out. Yes, you're stressed out. And then let me tell you something that women do. And I know I don't like to stereotype. I don't like to stereotype and I don't like to just group us, but I want to just share some things that I know for a fact that women do. Women say, well, I want you tell a man, well, I want you to do this. He goes and do it. The woman was the woman and her husband, they were traveling in the RV, all of that. They live in a lifestyle of, just travelers, social media travel influencers. You tell the man, well, I want to be an influencer. The man say, okay, well, I'm with you. Let's do it. I'll be an influencer with you. And then you say, well, I don't like it. I'm stressed out and I want to stop. Okay, that's okay. We'll take a pause. Now you're saying I'm going back to Nigeria and I'm going to be here. We cannot clap on stupidity. We should be asking questions. Like, what's wrong with you? Now, if y'all want to move as a family, that is your choice. Move as a family. You have a family. You can move as a family. You can do whatever your money allows. But I don't think married people should be making single people choices and decisions. All right, that's my time, guys. I'm 10 minutes over. Don't forget, I'm Madam President. If you want to keep up with Madam President, my suggestion is that you sign up on my e-blast on madampresident.com. All you got to do is sign up, get a free journal, connect with me, and always on madampresident.com. I've enjoyed you. I've had a good time with you. Tomorrow is Friday. Whoop, whoop. We're getting through the week. We are making things happen for ourselves, right? Things are working in our favor and all is well around us. All right, don't forget, beat this system. Don't let it beat you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.